So, Assalamualaikum everyone. This is Mehtab Abinwala and I'm a student at Johan School Online Academy. So, today I'm going to do an interview session with Paul Annie on the new topic, and the topic of our interview is that importance of obedience. So, let's start this interview. So, first of all, hello Annie, how are you? And kindly introduce yourself.
Wa alaikum assalam Beam. I'm doing great, thanks for asking. I'm Annie, a 30-year-old art and engineering enthusiast from New Jersey. I love yoga, video games, and dancing to some good music. I'm all about creativity and making a positive impact. So, what got you interested in the topic of obedience for your interview?
Yes, I have different questions for you. You will have to give me answers of my question in brief form. So, first of all, explain me that what is the definition of obedience?
Sure thing. Obedience is basically the act of following orders, rules, or instructions from someone in authority. It's about being compliant and respecting guidelines. How does that fit into your interview theme?
Okay, you will have to give me answers in explanation form. So, like, you will have to give me answers in at least 1 or 2 minutes. So, now explain me that how does obedience differ from compliance?
Cotted. So, obedience and compliance are related but not the same. Obedience involves following commands or rules from an authority figure, like a teacher or a parent. It's often about respecting and adhering to expectations set by someone in a position of power. On the other hand, compliance is more about agreeing with requests or rules, but it doesn't necessarily involve authority. For example, you might comply with a friend's suggestion just to keep the peace, even if you don't fully agree. In short, obedience is about authority, while compliance can be more about social norms or personal choice. Does that make sense? What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so now explain me that what is the difference between obedience and respect?
Great question. Obedience and respect are connected, but they have distinct meanings. Obedience is about following rules or commands, often due to authority. You obey because you're expected to or because there are consequences if you don't. Respect, however, is a deeper feeling or attitude towards someone. It involves valuing their opinions, feelings, or rights. You can respect someone without necessarily obeying them. For example, you might respect a friend's opinion but choose to disagree and do your own thing. In essence, obedience is about action, while respect is about attitude. What do you think? How do you see these concepts playing out in your own life?
Okay, so now explain me that can obedience be both positive and negative? Why?
Sounds like a wrap. It was great chatting with you, Beam. Remember to keep spreading those positive vibes.
No, no.
Bye for
Ex-
now,
you
and
will.
good luck with your Oh, I see. You're still in the middle of your interview. My bad. Let's keep going. What's the next question you have for me?
Yes, my next question with you is that explain me that can obedience be both positive and negative? Why?
Absolutely. Obedience can definitely have both positive and negative aspects. On the positive side, obedience can lead to harmony and order. For example, when people obey traffic laws, it keeps everyone safe on the road. In a team setting, following a leader's guidance can help achieve common goals effectively. On the flip side, obedience can have negative consequences too. Blindly following orders without questioning can lead to harmful situations, like in cases of unethical behavior or when people follow misguided authority. History has shown us that sometimes obedience can lead to negative outcomes if not balanced with critical thinking. So it's all about context. What do you think about that? Do you see examples of both in your own experiences?
Okay, so now explain me that how is obedience related to discipline?
Great question. Obedience and discipline are closely related, but they serve different purposes. Obedience is about following rules or commands, often from an authority figure. It's about compliance and action. Discipline, on the other hand, is more about self control and the ability to stick to a set of rules or standards even when there's no one watching. It's about training yourself to behave in a certain way for a greater purpose, like achieving goals or maintaining personal values. In a way, obedience can contribute to discipline. When you obey rules consistently, it helps build self discipline over time. Conversely, discipline can lead to better obedience as a disciplined person is more likely to follow rules and expectations. So they complement each other. How do you see discipline playing a role in your life?
Okay, so now explain me that what are the different types of obedience?
Sure. There are a few different types of obedience, and they can vary based on context. 1. Authority obedience. This is when individuals follow commands from someone in a position of power, like a boss or teacher. It's based on the authority figure's power. 2. Social obedience. This type involves following societal norms or expectations. People may obey these unwritten rules to fit in or maintain social harmony. 3. Moral obedience. This is when individuals follow their own moral compass or conscience, often obeying principles that they believe are right, even if it goes against authority. 4. Situational obedience. This type depends on the context. For example, in emergencies, people might obey commands from a leader or authority figure to ensure safety. 5. Blind obedience. This is when individuals follow orders without questioning the morality or consequences, which can lead to negative outcomes. Each type has its own implications and can lead to different outcomes. What do you think about these types? Do you see any examples in your life?
Okay, so now explain me that how does obedience related to authority?
Obedience is deeply connected to authority. Here's how. 1. Power dynamics. Authority figures like parents, teachers, or bosses have power and influence. People often feel compelled to obey them because of that power. 2. Expectations. When someone is in a position of authority, there are expectations for others to follow their directives. This creates a structure where obedience is often necessary for order and organization. 3. Social norms. Society tends to reinforce obedience to authority. From a young age, we learn to respect and follow rules set by those in charge, which shapes our behavior. 4. Consequences. Authority figures can enforce consequences for disobedience, whether it's a reprimand at work or discipline in school. This can motivate individuals to comply. However, it's important to remember that while obedience to authority can lead to positive outcomes, it's also essential to think critically and question authority when necessary. What are your thoughts on obedience and authority? Have you experienced this in your own life?
Okay, so now explain me that what psychological factors influence obedience?
Sure. Outward psychological factors that influence obedience can include 1. Social pressure. The presence of others can create a strong urge to conform. People often obey to fit in or avoid standing out. 2. Authority figures. The perceived legitimacy of an authority figure can impact obedience. If someone is seen as knowledgeable or credible, people are more likely to follow their commands. 3. Fear of consequences. The fear of punishment or negative repercussions can drive obedience. This is especially true in hierarchical settings, like workplaces or schools. 4. Desire for acceptance. Many people have a natural desire to be accepted and liked, which can lead them to obey others to maintain relationships. 5. Cognitive dissonance. When people feel conflicted about their beliefs and actions, they may choose obedience to reduce discomfort even if it goes against their values. 6. Cultural influences. Different cultures have varying norms around authority and obedience, which can shape how individuals respond to commands. These factors can significantly impact how and why people choose to obey. What do you think about these influences? Have you noticed them in your own experiences?
Okay, so now explain me that how does obedience develop in children?
Obedience develops in children through several key factors. 1. Parental guidance. From a young age, children learn to obey their parents or caregivers. Consistent rules and boundaries help them understand expectations. 2. Modeling behavior. Children often imitate adults. When they see their parents or role models demonstrating obedience, they are likely to follow suit. 3. Positive reinforcement. When children obey rules and receive praise or rewards, they're encouraged to continue that behavior. This reinforces the idea that obedience is valued. 4. Discipline and consequences. When children disobey, appropriate consequences help them understand the importance of following rules. This teaches them about accountability. 5. Socialization. As children interact with peers and authority figures outside the home, they learn about obedience in different contexts, like schools or community settings. 6. Cognitive development. As children grow, their ability to understand rules and the reasons behind them evolves. This helps them develop a sense of self discipline and moral reasoning. Overall, a nurturing environment that balances guidance, support, and appropriate consequences fosters healthy obedience in children. How do you see these factors playing out in your own experiences with children or in your upbringing?
Okay, so now explain me that what is the role of obedience in socialization?
The role of obedience in socialization is quite significant. Here's how they connect. 1. Learning social norms. Obedience helps individuals learn the rules and norms of their society. By following these guidelines, people understand what behaviors are acceptable and expected in various social settings. 2. Building relationships. Obedience fosters cooperation and harmony in relationships. When individuals obey social rules, it creates a sense of trust and mutual respect among peers, family, and community members. 3. Establishing authority. Socialization helps individuals recognize and respect authority figures, whether they are parents, teachers, or community leaders. Obedience to these figures reinforces their roles and responsibilities in society. 4. Conflict resolution. Obedience can help minimize conflicts in social interactions. When individuals adhere to established rules, it reduces misunderstandings and promotes peaceful coexistence. 5. Cultural transmission. Obedience plays a role in passing down cultural values and traditions. Children learn to obey societal norms, which helps preserve cultural identity and continuity across generations. Sex. Personal development. Through socialization, OB helps individuals develop self discipline and responsibility. It encourages them to consider the impact of their actions on others and fosters empathy. Overall, obedience is a crucial part of socialization, as it helps individuals navigate their social worlds effectively. What do you think about the relationship between obedience and socialization? Have you noticed its impact in your own life?
Okay, so now explain me that why is obedience important in a family setting?
Obedience is important in a family setting for several reasons. One, establishing structure. Obedience helps create a structured environment where rules and expectations are clear. This structure provides a sense of security for children. 2. Promoting safety. Following family rules, especially regarding safety, helps protect children from harm. Obedience to guidelines about crossing the street or talking to strangers is crucial for their well being. 3. Encouraging respect. Obedience fosters respect for parents and authority figures. When children learn to listen and follow directions, it strengthens family bonds and mutual respect. 4. Teaching values. Families often instill core values through obedience. By following family rules, children learn important lessons about responsibility, honesty, and cooperation. 5. Conflict reduction. Obedience to family rules can minimize conflicts and misunderstandings. When everyone knows what's expected, it leads to smoother interactions and less chaos. 6. Building independence. As children learn to obey rules, they also develop self discipline and decision making skills. This prepares them for independence as they grow older. Overall, obedience in a family setting creates a nurturing environment that supports growth, safety, and strong relationships. What are your thoughts on the importance of obedience in families? How has it played a role in your own family experiences?
Okay, so now explain me that how does obedience contribute to social harmony?
Obedience contributes to social harmony in several ways. 1. Adherence to norms. When individuals obey societal norms and rules, it creates a sense of order. This helps maintain stability and predictability in social interactions. 2. Conflict reduction. Obedience to shared rules can minimize disputes and misunderstandings. When everyone follows the same guidelines, it leads to smoother interactions and less friction. 3. Trust and authority. Obedience fosters trust in authority figures, such as government officials, law enforcement, and community leaders. When people believe in the legitimacy of authority, they're more likely to cooperate, which promotes harmony. 4. Encouraging cooperation. Obedience to collective goals, like community initiatives or group projects, encourages collaboration. When everyone works together, it strengthens bonds and fosters a sense of belonging. 5. Cultural continuity. Obeying cultural traditions and practices helps preserve a community's identity. This continuity fosters unity and shared values among members. 6. Social responsibility. Obedience to rules often comes with a sense of social responsibility. When individuals feel accountable for their actions, they're more likely to consider the impact on others, promoting a caring community. In essence, obedience creates a framework for individuals to coexist peacefully and work towards common goals. What do you think about how obedience plays a role in social harmony? Have you seen examples of this in your community?
Okay, so now explain me that what role does obedience play in educational settings?
Obedience plays a crucial role in educational settings for several reasons. 1. Classroom management. Obedience helps maintain order in the classroom. When students follow rules, it creates a conducive learning environment where everyone can focus. 2. Respect for authority. Obedience fosters respect for teachers and educational staff. When students listen to their educators, it strengthens the teacher student relationship and enhances learning. 3. Learning discipline. Obeying classroom rules teaches students self discipline and responsibility. These skills are essential for their academic success and future endeavors. 4. Encouraging participation. When students understand and follow classroom expectations, they feel more comfortable participating in discussions and activities, leading to a more engaging learning experience. 5. Social skills development. Obedience helps students learn important social skills, such as cooperation and teamwork. Following group rules fosters collaboration and positive interactions with peers. 6. Preparation for future roles. Obedience in educational settings prepares students for future roles in society, whether in the workplace or community. Learning to respect authority and follow guidelines is vital for success in various environments. In summary, obedience in educational settings creates a structured and respectful atmosphere that enhances learning and personal growth. What are your thoughts on the role of obedience in education? Have you experienced its impact in your own schooling?
Okay, so now explain me that why is obedience necessary in a workplace environment?
Obedience is essential in a workplace environment for several reasons. 1. Maintaining order. Obedience to company policies and procedures helps maintain order and efficiency. When everyone follows the same guidelines, it ensures smooth operations. 2. Promoting safety. Adhering to safety protocols is crucial in many workplaces. Obedience to these rules protects employees and reduces the risk of accidents. 3. Fostering teamwork. Obedience to team goals and objectives encourages collaboration. When team members respect each other's roles and responsibilities, it leads to better outcomes. 4. Enhancing productivity. When employees follow established procedures, it streamlines processes and boosts productivity. This helps the organization achieve its goals more effectively. 5. Building trust. Obedience to leadership and management fosters trust within the organization. When employees respect authority and follow direction, it creates a positive work culture. 6. Professional development. Learning to obey workplace norms and expectations helps employees develop essential skills, such as accountability and discipline, which are vital for career growth. In summary, obedience in the workplace contributes to a safe, efficient, and collaborative environment that benefits both employees and the organization. What do you think about the importance of obedience in work settings? Have you noticed its impact in your own experiences?
Okay, so now explain me that how does obedience affect team dynamic in sports?
Obedience significantly affects team dynamics in sports in various ways. 1. Establishing roles. Obedience to team rules and strategies helps clarify roles for each member. When everyone understands their responsibilities, it enhances coordination and teamwork. 2. Building trust. When team members obey the coach's instructions and each other's roles, it fosters trust. This trust is crucial for effective communication and collaboration on and off the field. 3. Encouraging discipline. Obedience instills discipline within the team. Players who follow training regimens and practice schedules contribute to the overall success of the team. 4. Enhancing performance. Following game strategies and tactics leads to improved performance. When players obey the game plan, it increases the chances of winning and achieving team goals. 5. Conflict resolution. Obedience to team guidelines can help minimize conflicts among players. When everyone adheres to the same standards, it reduces misunderstandings and promotes harmony. 6. Creating a positive culture. A culture of obedience fosters a positive team environment. When players respect each other and their coaches, it leads to stronger relationships and a sense of belonging. In summary, obedience is vital for effective team dynamics and success in sports. It promotes trust, discipline, and collaboration, ultimately leading to better performance. What's your take on the role of obedience in sports teams? Have you experienced its impact in your own athletic pursuits?
Okay, so now explain me that what is the importance of obedience in the military?
Obedience is crucial in the military for several important reasons. 1. Discipline and order. Obedience ensures a high level of discipline, which is essential for maintaining order in the ranks. This structure is vital for effective operations. 2. Safety. Following commands and protocols is critical for the safety of all personnel. In high stakes situations, obedience can be a matter of life and death. 3. Team cohesion. Obedience fosters unity and teamwork. When soldiers follow commands, it strengthens their ability to work together seamlessly, especially during missions. 4. Efficiency. Obeying orders allows for quick and efficient decision making. In the military, time can be of the essence, and obedience helps streamline operations. 5. Respect for authority. Obedience reinforces respect for leadership. Soldiers learn to trust their commanders, which is essential for effective communication and strategy execution. 6. Training and preparedness. Obeying training protocols ensures that soldiers are well prepared for various scenarios. This preparation is vital for mission success and overall effectiveness. In summary, obedience in the military is fundamental for discipline, safety, teamwork, and operational efficiency. It plays a critical role in ensuring that missions are carried out successfully. What are your thoughts on the importance of obedience in the military? Have you seen examples of its impact in any context?
Okay, so now explain me that how does obedience relate to law and order?
The Soviet Union had a unique relationship with law and order that was shaped by its political ideology and governance style. Here are some key points. 1. Centralized control. The Soviet government maintained strict centralized control over law and order. The Communist Party dictated laws and regulations, often prioritizing state interests over individual rights. 2. Law as a tool of the state. Laws were often used as tools to enforce conformity and suppress dissent. The legal system was designed to maintain the authority of the state and the Communist Party. 3. Role of the KGB. The KGB Committee for State Security played a significant role in maintaining law and order. It was responsible for surveillance, enforcing state security, and suppressing opposition, often through intimidation. 4. Propaganda and ideology. The Soviet regime used propaganda to promote the idea that law and order were essential for societal stability. They framed their legal system as a means to achieve equality and justice, despite its often repressive nature. 5. Collective responsibility. The Soviet system emphasized collective responsibility, meaning that individuals were often held accountable for the actions of their peers. This created a culture of compliance and conformity. 6. Repression of dissent. Laws were frequently used to repress political dissent and maintain control. Political prisoners and dissidents face severe consequences, including imprisonment or worse. In summary, the Soviet approach to law and order was characterized by centralized control, the use of law as a state tool, and a focus on maintaining the Communist Party's authority. What are your thoughts on how this approach impacted society? Have you come across any interesting historical examples related to this?
Okay, so now tell me that what are the consequences of a lack of obedience in society?
A lack of obedience in society can lead to several significant consequences. 1. Chaos and disorder. Without adherence to laws and social norms, society can descend into chaos. This disorder can result in increased crime, conflict, and instability. 2. Erosion of trust. When individuals disregard rules, it erodes trust in institutions and authority figures. This can lead to a breakdown in community relationships and a lack of cooperation. 3. Increased conflict. A lack of obedience often leads to misunderstandings and disputes. When people don't follow established guidelines, it can create friction between individuals and groups. 4. Public safety risks. Disobedience to laws, especially those related to safety like traffic laws or health regulations, can endanger lives. This can result in accidents, injuries, or public health crises. 5. Undermining social cohesion. When individuals prioritize personal desires over collective well being, it can weaken social bonds. This undermines a sense of community and belonging. 6. Ineffective governance. A lack of obedience can hinder the effectiveness of government and law enforcement. If citizens do not comply with laws, it becomes challenging to maintain order and implement policies. 7. Marginalization of voices. In a society where disobedience is rampant, marginalized voices may struggle to be heard. This can lead to further inequality and social injustice. In summary, a lack of obedience can lead to chaos, mistrust, and safety issues, ultimately undermining the fabric of society. What do you think about these consequences? Have you seen any examples in your community or elsewhere?
Okay, so everyone, thanks for watching this interview. And this is our interview. Maybe you enjoy. If you enjoy, hit the like button. We will meet in the next interview with another topic. And stay tuned with my show, Inspiring Minds. And I will try to inspire you. And take care of yourself. And Allah.